Hi, I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times. Thursday, August 6th. Get your popcorn. Tonight's the night on Fox News when 10 of the 16 Republican candidates for president are going to square off after a fashion in a battle royal in the Republican presidential debate. Our boy Mike Huckabee will be among them. Some people think this will be a chance for him to break out of the pack with one of his patented applause lines. An interesting thing did pop up this week about Mike Huckabee. The Log Cabin Democrat newspaper in Conway published results of an automated telephone poll that shows Donald Trump leading all candidates in Arkansas, 26-22 over Mike Huckabee. Kind of interesting, since the Arkansas legislature at Governor Asa Hutchinson's behest met in special session to move up the presidential primary to early March to help Mike Huckabee in what he thinks might be a shot at sweeping the South, the so-called SEC primary, to propel him to the nomination for president. Maybe not. The other interesting thing in the poll I thought that has some bearing on state politics is that Mike Huckabee, Donald Trump, and Ted Cruz, pretty extreme in a field of very conservative people to begin with, captured, maybe 60% of the support. I think this gives you some idea why Governor Asa Hutchinson is reluctant to moderate, even when he might want to moderate on some state policy issues. The Republican voter in Arkansas is just simply very, very conservative. That's not good news for those of us who are at the other end of the spectrum. News from the 8th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals in St. Louis today. It upheld a district judge who said that 2 Little Rock police officers were not entitled to immunity from a lawsuit over the death of Eugene Ellison, a 67-year-old man who was shot in his own apartment some 5 years ago, won by an officer who was acting as private security there. The 8th Circuit said, as the district judge had said, that there wasn't sufficient proof to prevent a trial going forward on whether they'd entered his apartment improperly, and there was also a factual situation to consider on whether immunity should be given to the officer who actually shot Ellison. That case could go to trial in 3 to 5 months. Sexual equality and civil rights for gay people continues to be much in the news. James Stone, a Baxter County man who died in Texas and whose family endured terrible controversy when they tried to have a funeral for him in Baxter County earlier this year. So-called Christians went to his funeral and gave his parents information saying they were going to go to hell because their son was gay. He's also leaving obstacles in Texas. His husband, who's also himself dying of cancer, is having a hard time getting added to his late husband's death certificate as his legal spouse, which he is. The Attorney General of Texas has resisted. He's gone to court. A federal judge has said indeed he should be listed on the death certificate. And he's also asked the Attorney General of Texas to appear in court to show why he should not be held in contempt of court for refusing to get this done. The private option insurance plan in Arkansas is still causing problems. The stories are piling up of people who've been unfairly thrown off the program, and for reasons that seem to go beyond the fact that they didn't hurry up and get in a notice of their changes in income status in a 10-day period. I still think Governor Asa Hutchinson is going to have to look to do more than he's done to date about correcting this awful problem. The stories are far beyond anecdotal. They're sweeping, they're huge. They're going to affect tens of thousands of people with real diseases who need their insurance coverage, who won't have it because of a glitch in the state bureaucracy and an inadequate bureaucracy for the task. Leslie Rutledge, the Attorney General of Arkansas, did late yesterday do as I'd predicted. She will join other states in contesting President Obama's clean air rules. She says they go too far, that they're too bureaucratic, they're too expensive. What's missing from Governor Asa Hutchinson, from Attorney General Leslie Rutledge, and from Lieutenant Governor Tim Griffin, to name several of the Republicans who say these rules are terrible things, is what they will do about the air. Do they think the air is clean? Do they think the old power plants that are putting out huge amounts of greenhouse gases should continue to do so? Do they think it has no impact on the climate? At some point, they're going to have to recognize that national polls show that people think we ought to do something about cleaning up the air, because if it does have an impact on the environment, that affects all of us. Interesting story in the Hollywood Reporter. It found out that in the earnings report of Discovery Communications, which owns the TLC, the TV cable channel on which the Jim Bob Duggar family show 19 Kids and Counting appeared, had to take a $24 million write-down because of the cancellation of that show. If it's going to cost him $24 million not to continue the show, you can figure somewhat from that this must have been a very profitable source of money for the Duggar family. They've now lost it because of the sex scandal within their own household. Finally, just a funny point on tonight's debate. Don't know who's going to win, who's not. I think it's kind of Donald Trump's to win or lose. Will he fire everybody or will they fire him? But a software outfit that provides automatic copy reading of people's online material did a project with the Wall Street Journal, and they analyzed the Facebook commentary on all the various candidates' pages, Republican candidates, because it's a debate this week, and they found the most literate were those who backed Carly Fiorina. That is, have you heard of Carly Fiorina, the ex-executive who's in the race and way down the list? I'll let you guess whose backers were the least literate according to this study of grammar, spelling, and punctuation. And I'll give you a hint. Name rhymes with chump. I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.